All right, what's up, everybody? We're going to talk about programming our simulator today. I have my convergent model here. I have a adapter. This is going to allow us to connect a servo to our microbit using alligator clip. Alligator clips open up when you squeeze on them. Okay, they're like little clothespins basically. Then you're also going to need a microbit itself with a USB cable. All right. So in the instructions, the first thing I tell you to do is open up MakeCode and name the project Plate Tectonics. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project, Plate Tectonics. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add an extension. So the servo library is the extension we need to add. It was like right here at the top. I just kind of went past it, but now we can see servos here. Okay. One thing that we're going to start with, everybody's going to start with this. We're going to set servo P0 to angle 90. 90 is what all of our servos are supposed to be starting at. I've already set them to 90 degrees, so that's like their default return position. We are going to wait 1 second, which is the wait or pause is found under basic. We're going to change this to 1 second. Then we're going to stop our servo. We don't want our servos to constantly be turning. We want them to go to their position and then stop. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to input and we're going to grab the on button A pressed. So on button A is this button here. It's not like on your keyboard. It is this button right here. It's labeled A. So most of our servos go from like 180 degrees. They go from 90 degrees, which is right in the middle. 0 degrees is going to go one direction. 180 degrees is going to go the opposite direction. Depending on what angle or what position you put your horn on to begin with, kind of determines whether you're going to need to go up in degrees from 90 to 180, or if you're going to go down in degrees from 90 to 0. I can't really tell you which one it's going to be. It really depends on just how you set it up. So you need to like test. So let's test really quick here. We are going to go to servos and we're going to say set servo angle to 0 degrees. Actually, let's say 180 degrees first. We are going to, again, we need to give it time to move to that position. So we're going to give it 1 second to move to that position. And then we are going to stop the servo. Now, before I can move on, we need to wire our servo up. So these things here, their color organization is not the best. The colors on the end do match up properly, but the colors in the middle, not so much. So there's a yellow, a red, and an orange wire on the adapter. Yellow is connected to yellow, red is connected to red, and then orange is connected to black, which is ground. Over here, we have a brown, a red, and an orange. Brown is ground, red is 3 volts, orange is the data. The orange wire on our servo needs to connect up to the yellow wire on our adapter, while the orange wire on the adapter connects to the brown wire on the servo. So they're going to plug in like this. So again, that is confusing. If you pay attention to the colors, black means ground, brown means ground. Red means voltage, like 3 volts in this case, that goes to there. Yellow is our data, that goes to there. So now on our microbit, we have pin 0, 1, 2. We also have a 3 volt pin and a ground pin. Black is ground, so we're going to connect black to ground. Red is 3 volts, so we're going to connect red to 3V. And then yellow is our data. And honestly, 0, 1, or 2 could work. By default, the code is set up to connect to 0. So let's just connect that up to 0. So once we've done that, we're now going to plug our microbit into our computer. Please don't like power your microbit at the same time that you're wiring it. So we're here. Let's give it a try. So in order to connect up, let me disconnect from this one so I can show you how to do it. Okay. So in order to connect up, we're going to click on this like dot, dot, dot. It says click for one click downloads. We're going to click on it and we're going to say connect device. It's going to tell us to connect our microbit to our computer. We've done it. It's going to tell us to pair our microbit with our browser. We're going to click pair. A browser pops open here. We're going to click on the microbit. We're going to click connect. If it says fail to connect, try again. It should connect like the second or third time. Most times it connects on the first, but not always. Okay, if it still doesn't work at this point, disconnect your USB cable, wait a few seconds, plug it in again. This time it's probably going to automatically connect. So if I click the dot, 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 and I see it says disconnect now, it is all automatically connected. So at this point, I click download. Now once again, when we do nothing, it just stays at its like constant 90 degree. It's when we press A that something should happen. Okay, so there was an example where it tried to push, but it couldn't because it's going the wrong way. So it didn't pull it closer, so let's change this angle. Again, 90 is default. Let's go back up to 0 degrees. So this is going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to download again. We're going to start off at 90. Now I'm going to press A. See, now I have picked it up, okay, because now I've used the correct angle. And again, some of you 180 degrees will do this. Some of you 0 degrees will do this. So you just got to like figure that out. So now that we know which direction it goes, we're going to like finish up our code. So instead of, so we're going to go to 0 degrees. In my case, I'm going to wait a second to get there. I'm going to stop the servo. That just like pauses. We're now going to wait like another 5 seconds, sure, some amount of time before we go back to 90 degrees, okay? So 5 seconds is pretty good. Then we are going to set our servo back to its original position, which again is 90 degrees for everybody's project. And then we are going to pause for a second, and then we are going to stop our servo. We should always pause to allow our servo to move, and then we should stop our servo so it doesn't continue to try to move after that fact. So under servos, we're going to grab stop servo P0. So again, this P0 represents what pin it's connected to. So now when I download this, again, we start like in the low position. We press A. It's going to go up. A second later, it stops. 5 seconds after that, it's going to go back down. A second later, it's going to stop. And then it's ready for its next round again. So when you look at, that's like the general outline of like what to do. Each project has its own kind of like code. So the transform code looks something like this. Transform is going to be like there's slipping involved. So we're going to kind of like move it a little bit, tell it to stop, move it a little bit more, tell it to stop, move a little bit more, tell it to stop, and then we're going to go back to 90 degrees. So again, I started at 90, I went to 70, 50, and then 0. If you know that you need to go up the scale, go from like 90, add 20 to that, that's like 110, add 20 to that, that's 130. This is going to be the exact opposite, so that's 180 degrees, okay? Or again, if you go down to 0 and make it move, then you can use that code exactly. Convergent and divergent models, pretty much, they're the same thing, right? I set my servo angle to 0 degrees. That causes it to move up. I wait a second. I stop it. I wait 5 seconds. I go back to 90. I wait a second. I stop it. Again, down at the bottom of this sheet of instructions, I include like how to wire it up, how to download, all that good stuff. So that is the really quick and dirty about setting up your programming necessary to make these bits move. Okay, let us know if you have any questions. Good luck.